Hello again. Well, here we are at the end of the book. Do you know today is your last chapter in Dinosaurs Before Dark? I think that's a little sad. Today's lesson will be a review of all the things we've talked about so far. First, you learned about opinion questions. You've had lots of practice with that in your before reading polls. I hope you're doing a good job of deciding if you agree or disagree with statements, and being able to give your reasons. Next, you learned about vocabulary words and how important it is to read definitions for words we don't know, or use context clues to figure them out. Then you learned about how to tell if something is a fact or opinion. If it's a fact, you can look it up and learn that it's been proven. Opinions are how someone thinks or feels about something. Opinions cannot be proven. Next, you learned about sequencing, which is putting the events in the order they happened. Wait a minute, I think I'm sequencing right now as I tell you about the things we've learned. Then you learned how to summarize what you've read. This is a lot like sequencing, except you have to remember the important events and write about them yourself. After that, you learned how to compare and contrast. This means figuring out what is the same and different between two people, places, or things. We used a diagram like this. In Chapter 8, you learned about cause and effect, when one thing makes another thing happen. Oh my, I wonder what caused that glass to break. Finally, in Chapter 9, you learned how to draw conclusions, using clues to figure out things the author doesn't tell you. One of your questions asked you to draw a conclusion about what happened at the end of Chapter 9. Did you conclude that Annie and Jack are back home at Frog Creek? You're about to find out if you were right or not. After you do your before reading poll and vocabulary words, you'll be ready to finish reading the book. Then you'll have several activity questions to answer, one for each of the reading skills we've learned together. Do your very best and show your teacher that you've really got these new skills down. For the next lesson, I have some fun things to tell you about more adventures with Annie and Jack.